Welcome back, yous guys. It's been a little bit of a time. Make sure we get an episode in for you. This is You Be Aight podcast presented by AML Media. Love you, Mom. Steven had to run to the grocery store because all he has is butter and peanut butter. Maybe a couple pieces of bread, but they're probably old. So he's not in here, but he will be shortly. This is You Be Aight podcast. I'm Gene Labordi. My co-host, who will be here, is Steven Labordi, doing all the hard work, making things look good, is Rachel Labordi. I got the hiccups. That's not fun to listen to. Sorry, gang. But come along for a ride. We get a little conspiracy theory. We get a little bit of all sorts of stuff. Talks, the real men in black. If you don't know what that is, stay tuned. But welcome to the show.
I don't even think she's that sexy.
I don't need the surgery.
That's too much ass and hips for me.
Well, I don't know if I could actually get in.
No, I could. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
like,
Well, I think she's had surgery. And for the fans that are just tuning in, we're talking about the Anaconda Nicki Minaj video, and before that was the Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball. That had a little class to it, I think.
No, it didn't.
Maybe I just like
class is the wrong word.
It had something I really liked about it. I can't tell.
At least the
what
lyrics weren't like, let him fuck me in my automobile, line him up, this, that, and the other thing. But the music video,
like, think about at our old house. I'm watching MTV when I get home from school or before school. You walk in and you're seeing me watching a Creed music video or whatever. Think about if you had a kid. She's getting ready to go to 7th grade. You walk in and she's seeing my Anaconda Don't. Like, basically saying, I need a huge dick or else I'm not going to even.
well.
But at that time, kids don't know that. I sang a lot of dirty shit and I had no idea what I was singing.
I think this is always a moot conversation because the internet force feeds you pornographic stuff.
Good point.
So it's like desensitization,
Which, and they say, I remember when we went to Finland, I was like, oh, there's boobies on commercials. What? But to them, they're like, it's just normal. It's the human body. But yeah, I guess I'm just a prude. Maybe I am getting older. But that would bother me.
I honestly,
because you're right. Maybe the daughter doesn't realize she's singing lyrics about getting fucked by a huge dick, but she's still singing them. And it's in my house, and then you see the music video, and I'm like, all right, she's learned how to, dude. In middle school dances, teachers would walk around with rulers to make sure you guys would be a foot apart from each other.
I didn't go to middle school dances. I was such a dork.
But I remember teachers being like, all right, guys, hey, have some space. And I had Catholic school friends who was just saying, we need to be able to see God in between you or something like that. Like, from these dances. I can only imagine middle school girls that
they're
twerking.
I'm sure they're bumping and grinding. Who knows?
I mean, in high school we grinded, but an 8th grader where I'm just learning what my boner is and I can't even get through math class. And then I go to a school dance and there's some girl twerking. There's middle schoolers coming in their pants.
You didn't learn about your boner till 8th grade?
No, I learned about it too early. I was trying to be, I was trying to smoke mirrors a little bit, okay?
I think all this, when you get older, you start to look at it from a parenting point of view. But I think a lot of people don't even listen to lyrics, really.
No, I
always have. It's like, we talked about this, like, the first couple times I hear a song, I'm listening to the words. Most people, they don't really listen to the lyrics until several, they really know the song.
I'm one of them. It's
about the rhythm.
It's been in the last few years, not even 2-3 years maybe, that I do listen to lyrics.
And it elevates certain like,
it'll make you like someone more.
Right, when you
respect them more.
Like Chris Cornell.
Or the opposite.
Huh?
Or the opposite if you
definitely.
don't like
True.
the lyrics.
So it really gives you a proper perspective, especially now when most contemporary popular music is such over commercialized, over processed, over digitalized. It's mostly trash, dude.
Because it is, everyone has the technology now. Like it used to be an art form of being able to get the right sounds and all, and you had to have a board that was fucking as big as this room.
Yeah.
Now it's like GarageBand. You can
It's even worse than that. I've been watching these things about AI, how you can like give it a basic
I'm terrified.
outline for a song, and it can like mimic any popular recording artist, and it sounds like a badass song.
Dude, on top of that, you probably don't see, I know you're getting better with social media, but you're not deep into it now. There's these things where like someone will go, and I don't know what program it is or what it is, but it'll say, I gave the AI created what they think a British soldier would look like in the 1880s, and then like what the Aztec warriors looked like, and they're fucking
Spot on. I've seen a lot of that shit. Man.
Okay, yeah, and it's scary, but because I'm thinking like this is gonna get used.
Even you know what's crazy about AI?
They can do it with voices now. They start doing the bonfire.
I know, dude. The deep fake people are really gonna get fucking turned around by this shit. But someone made an interesting point. You know, I listen, especially when football season's not going on. I listen to a whole new set of podcasts and shit.
Conspiracy theory, Steven.
I hate that word.
It's not a theory if it's real.
Yeah, most conspiracy theories, half of them end up being true. But anywho, fuck, you irked me now. I forgot what I was gonna say, motherfucker.
Well,
AI, it's really
Okay.
interesting, is going to the original automation, like robotics inventions, replaced blue collar workers a lot.
mm-hmm.
This next generation AI is really going to be replacing white collar workers.
So now we start to fight back, is what you're saying?
Basically, because
Well,
this AI can do all those office tasks. Write me a proposal.
Yeah, the new ChatGPT that will literally write you whatever.
Rachel, what is that?
It'll
I keep
write you a
seeing it.
novel. You can write you a
It's
novel
an-
in minutes, dude.
It's an AI basically processing site. Like you go in and you say, I need I need 2 paragraphs on why this is good, or like I need copy
Give
of
me a proposal on, this market versus this market. I mean, it can go
literally
deep,
whatever you
So,
want.
so it's a self-automated
but it's really
program,
good.
and it can pull like from search engines and
It's,
shit.
dude.
So, for example, for my work, like we're starting to use it a little bit if we need to write something, but we just kind of don't know where to start.
Gives
So
you,
it
gives
gives
you an outline,
like
basically.
an outline, yeah.
But
So-
it'll literally write you a book. You can give it a
That's
subject
where all
and
that
character.
stuff's coming
Dude,
from.
it's
Okay.
not only is it going to replace white collar work in a lot. I mean, you'd be stupid not to utilize it if
Yeah.
you ran a company instead of having people writing emails and shit. It can do all that, but it can also do all your secretarial work, and it's
That's
also going to
scary.
replace what a lot of people hold most sacred. Humanity is the artistic aspect of what humans can do. It can write songs. It can paint, like it can create artwork. It can write a book. It'll write you a poem.
Well, in the artwork, since they load previously done things into it, it's really ending up stealing a lot of people's
Of course
artistic
it is.
styles and stuff. So there's a lot of people
And-
out
and
there that are.
Well, then who do you sue? Like, even if it's stole off of
That's
you,
the
it's a
point.
fucking.
And
Damn.
And-
So we got to learn some real skills, is what you're saying.
the only thing that these AIs currently
Because
can't
they're
do
going to start
is,
doing it
is
in
roughneck work.
and eventually, I seen a fucking robot that can fall down steps and walk up them and all this. Damn. So we got to learn something that. What can a robot not do?
Roughneck manual labor.
Well, I ain't learning that. So
I mean, then I don't know what.
I can learn to service these robots, is what you're saying.
It's not even. Yeah, that because the AI thing they're just the uses for it. We're just scratching the surface,
It's terrifying, man.
dude. But here's the thing: they can write code in minutes what it would take somebody weeks to write.
You know what?
Literally.
Not enough people watch Jurassic Park. You got to ask. It's not if we can do it. It's should we do it.
It's too late. It's way too late for that.
Yeah, I told you that time. That's why I got it. Like, this is the type of subject that made me stop smoking weed. Because that one time I was a little high at work, and I watched Joe Rogan and, not Jeff Bezos. Who's the other fucking...
Neil deGrasse.
Not Neil deGrasse. Amazon guy.
That guy's a shill.
Jeff
Anyway,
Bezos.
Amazon's Jeff Bezos.
Who's the guy who's make SpaceX?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. I watched that, and he was talking about how afraid he is of AI, and I had to turn it off because I was like,
He knows.
I can't wrap my mind around it.
And he's doing the Neuralink thing, which is really in its infancy. But
Do you think in the future, like, it will just fucking be human bodies laying on a couch in a meta world?
Well, listen, his whole idea behind Neuralink, do you know what it is? Basically,
not
like,
really.
it can connect your mind to the internet.
And, like,
I mean,
create
it's still
world,
in
like,
its-
be in a world, kind of?
The point of it is to keep so human beings have any chance to keep pace with AI. It's crazy, but you have to think about it. Like, you can basically interface with the internet through your mental processes. Now, again, that's in its infancy, but one thing it can do is, like, people who have seizures or traumatic brain injuries, like, it will help your brain rewire and work, which is a great invention.
So there's a good aspect to it, but that's not what's going to be capitalized on. Because as soon as you said that, I'm thinking, and I have no idea, but I'm thinking, okay, like, almost like a Sims world, right? You know, and then there are going to be people that are going to be early into it, and they're like, we only have a finite amount of land,
course.
so there's going to be you're going to be paying real estate and shit.
Well, that's already kind of what Meta wants to do. I mean,
See, Rachel, this is
People
why
already own property in the metaverse.
shit.
you own property in the metaverse.
No, people.
What was that
Oh.
weird ass game like Real World or?
I don't know.
Terrible graphics, goofy as shit, but it was way ahead of its time. You could make a house and basically you could make whatever you want.
I know Ruffner was getting into this thing. He was like, dude, it's basically the computer edition of the world, and he was buying real estate with real money. I was like,
That's old hat. That's been done. I forget the name of the game I'm talking about is Real Basic. It's like Real Life or something.
oh yeah, real life was it?
It's old.
Dude, and there
game.
was a fucking, I remember it was one of those MTV shows or something. The one guy was like making good money.
Yeah,
He
no.
was making,
You can make T-shirts or
he was
fucking-
making sex fixtures
Of course.
for real world
Of
or
course.
real life or whatever it was called. And then he had to come out and tell his wife about it because she didn't know how he was making money.
Dude,
And he was, he was just making fucking, what are those things you sit on that vibrate?
the
I always forget the name.
the Sibian.
He was making that and like fuzzy cuffs and stuff. Because I guess you have to code it a little bit to be able to make
Yeah,
it.
you can make anything. You have to have a little. I mean, this is so archaic, and I don't even know.
Yeah, because that was, I remember watching that in like high school, if not before.
It was like doing an EverQuest days.
I bet people are still, I guarantee people are still playing it.
If you can make money, if there's a market, I mean, I have no idea. I never could even scratch the surface of why anybody would play that.
I didn't even like Sims, let alone, why do I want another fucking life to have to, I can't kill a weird creature, but I can just hang out at a cafe.
Yeah, you can't kill nothing. I don't think. Like, what's it? That's
I think there was real jail, if I'm remembering. Like, you could
probably. But a lot of that stuff just turns into a playground for people that are
pedophiles
or have some fringe sexual interest, and like that's just always going to be the internet.
Yeah, it is always going to have a dark turn to it.
Who knows? I mean, anybody who doesn't think that the impact on humanity as a species is not going to continue to be super significant is just not living in the real world. And it's unfortunate. Look how different kids are. People that are just 10 years younger than me are so much different.
I always hope that
like,
it can make a backspin. Like, because if I had a kid now, because it's been a common turn of screen time is that, but that's been around for quite a while now. Like, I'm at the point where, like, if I have a kid, I might be one of those parents. And I'm like, you're not getting on the fucking computer. You're going to handwrite an essay until you're at least into puberty.
But it literally puts them at a disadvantage to their peers.
Well, and they stopped doing like in elementary school. They get tablets now. It's cheaper. It's more efficient.
Yeah, and it makes
And these
sense.
kids get smart. Every kid knows how to eventually out-trick their parents,
Of course.
especially when it comes to technology. So,
But like with this AI thing, I don't understand. I don't know if you're really understanding the revolution in just process. Like, you don't need to know how to do much.
that's when you first said that, I was like, dude, college is going to become not a
It's
thing.
pointless.
It's going to be like, it's not going to be write a term paper. It's you have to write something in front of me while I watch your hand write
Why?
this fucking.
No, they won't care. It's
Yeah,
pointless.
if you can use the tools.
Why? Yeah.
then
Why
you
would I
can
want
in
you to?
real life.
Because these tools are going to. I'm going to be Will Smith in that movie with the
So you're
robots.
tripping.
It's like the calculator thing. Like, you weren't allowed to use a calculator in school, but what scenario can you not use a calculator
This is
in real life?
this is calculator on steroids and
Yeah, but
and
same-
amphetamines. Like this.
Well,
shit is,
Rachel,
Concept.
you don't know how to do simple multiplication.
But
I
I
never had a
calculators.
calculator, and I'm pretty good at simple
I haven't
arithmetic.
multiplied anything.
Good thing my phone has a calculator at my fingertips at all times.
Morally,
Let me ask you this, Rachel. The other day when the power went out, what happens if that power never came back on? Huh?
I could,
Everyone would be coming to me like,
Oh,
gee,
yeah.
well,
Then-
what's 5 times 8? And I'd be like,
And then I can use that thing that my dad gave me where you move the
fucking-
beads around.
what are they called? It's just
abacus.
Abacus.
I'm so fucking smart, dude.
See, he's going to be the word guy. I'm going to be the numbers guy. And then what are you going to be, Rachel?
The art lady.
No one needs an art lady when the aliens invade.
They might like art.
She might have to reboot our artistic endeavors if the machine goes down.
Yeah.
But
I'll have
I think
I'll have one of those cheerleading cones telling jokes into
I
it.
really think her most important role would be like managerial. Make sure you're doing.
I would definitely, if
just
power shut off
bossing
right
people
now,
around.
never came back on, I would have my gun because people are going to try and be like, rape is going to be the second thing that happens.
What's first?
Water and food.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
I'd have to be like, make yourself ugly.
It
Prison
doesn't
rules.
matter. It doesn't matter if you're. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know
Well-
how we got on the rape.
I like to throw that in there sometimes just to shake things up. On the side, and we haven't figured out yet, but our cousin Stephanie, who's a viewer of this show,
Is she actually?
she's watched some episodes. Yeah.
Bullshit. Anyway,
This will be
Prove
prove
it.
yourself if you're hearing
Prove it.
this. She claimed, remember we were watching all those documentaries like Missing 411 or whatever,
yeah.
all that stuff. The real Men in Black.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? People claim like if they talk
Yeah.
about aliens too much or whatever. Stephanie
Conspiracy theory stuff.
said she knows someone that the real Men in Black has visited.
I believe it. I mean, I don't know anything about the story, but that is something that.
Well, we need to dig deeper because Rachel just kind of started laughing and she asked me, I forget what it is, what's that? But don't you have to like they were visiting because were they aliens or robots?
Though there's stories, an infamous story that I love, even though it's like, it's popular. The Point Pleasant thing in West Virginia with the Mothman.
The mall, yeah.
Is a really fascinating story that involves
For the viewers, what's the Mothman?
the Mothman is basically some entity that was spotted all over West Virginia. I think it was in like the 70s. But off of that, there were people that claimed that they were being visited by essentially Men in Black. The guy's name, oh my God,
And
he's got the one man in black has like an infamous name, and he was supposedly like a human looking, but definitely not a human.
they claim that they're really tall and that they speak with a weird, either a really high pitched voice or really low pitched voice, I forget. But two dudes show up at your door and basically tell you like, stop talking about this.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of variants of the Men
Yeah.
in Black, but basically, they're like damage control.
But it's like you're pretty sure they're not humans. It's a human figure
Well, and I think it's a part of the conspiracy that people don't know if
They're human or not.
Yeah, because they could be sent by like the government to cover up, or they could be sent by aliens to cover up.
Look up Mothman Prophecy Man in Black. I'm telling you, it'll pop up. His name is like Aldous Frost or something like that. It's really popular if you're into this shit. But there's all kinds of claims about Men in Black. But essentially what it usually is there's some kind of extraterrestrial or some kind of phenomenon that's going on in a certain area, and these guys basically show up to silence people or intimidate them.
If I remember, like, these people, like, they'll see it and then they'll be talking about it and trying to make it like they want to tell people about it.
No, they come, like, from what everything I was just doing a bunch of reading because I was
They
talking
come
about
before?
it. No, as soon as it happens, like, you know, you'll walk around the corner, you'll see it, something you shouldn't have seen, and then you'll go home and these people show up at your house.
That's the guy I'm talking about is like really notorious with that whole little period in time, and like he one of the stories, he like pulled someone over on a highway who had been talking and like kind of harassed this guy, and even to this day I think he's dead now, but he was saying like he regretted everything, like it ruined his whole life because all his neighbors were like, you know, you're crazy,
Yeah,
you're this,
yeah.
you're that, and
That's what scares me because I'm observative. Rachel walks around La La Land and will bump into people. I'll notice things and see. I'm afraid I'm gonna see something, and then if a Man in Black comes, I will not be able to be a regular person.
Maybe that's a sign that you need to like chill out and kick yourself down a notch.
what else is new? But
Yeah, let me just do that for the first time in 31 years.
So that you don't have to deal with a Man in Black.
Rachel, if I could shut it off, I would.
do you seriously consider yourself a normal person? Because who's a normal person?
No,
You know who normal people are? People you don't know that well. Whenever you get to know somebody, everybody's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah, no,
But I certainly would be, if I saw something crazy, I would have to talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. I would too.
Yeah.
I'm good with secret. Like I can hold information, but if it's because especially with you, it would go from I saw some dude. I think I saw a guy blink. His eyes went sideways, or like I saw lizard eyes.
Right.
I would have to talk to somebody and go like, "Am I crazy, or do you think that is a possibility?"
Well, the good news is you'll know because weird guys will show up at your house. But the thing with them is that they won't hurt you. They won't threaten you. They just scare you enough. Like whatever they do, they just scare you enough. So you'll survive. You just will be
That's one of those
fucked in the
things. I've
head.
been watching too much Intervention. I'll start huffing duster to just erase my memory.
Oh God, I can't find that guy's name without actually reading
I
it.
can't either.
But the whole Point Pleasant period is really interesting. There were UFOs, there were creatures spotted from many different people. There was like,
Well, you know what's crazy? I was seeing
they
this
were having
thing.
premonitions and shit. It was really cool. Watch the movie Mothman
I'm
Prophecy.
pretty sure that like there's been some stuff going on, and I don't pay attention because I kind of don't want to know. I like living in my life of just going, I wonder if that's a thing. I'm pretty sure the government has just come out and been like, yeah, we're pretty sure there's aliens. And
The thing is, we've known they know, and they know we've known, and they just never wanted to comment on it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with them.
Anybody who thinks
I'm like, listen, let's not make this a big deal. We're all still living.
it isn't a big deal. Well, dude, those things that got released, those Tic Tac videos, did anything happen? No.
No, and that's
It's
what
not a big deal. That's why it's really was so frustrating to people that the government wouldn't admit that these things happened because everybody knew.
And until these aliens can come down and be like, hey, guys, this is a button you press and you feel the best you ever have. And guess what? It's not addictive. There's no bad repercussions.
It would be addicted to the humans. Maybe they don't get addicted.
Press this button, and then for an hour, you're just like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And then you unpress the button.
You
you're
would
good.
want to press it again.
Well, listen, if we have that, we don't need jobs. All right? It starts at the bottom, works its way up top. Which you know what? That's what the government's hiding from us, because they do have that technology, and they won't release it because you're right. Humans will be like, well, I'm not going to work. Why do I have to build a bridge when I can just do this?
I guess, yeah. Well, the AI can build the bridges now.
Yeah, get the fucking robots working.
That's what I'm saying. The only
we built you guys, okay? So now you build some bridges, and we sit and press a button.
Think about like architects. There's really no need for more than one guy.
Which is crazy.
To say, okay, these plans look good, and then a bunch of laborers to build it.
The fact that they can just pull all this information, because the best architect in the world, same with doctors. You go to your doctor, he doesn't have all the knowledge in his brain. He goes and looks at you got a weird, I don't know what that is. Hold on, give me a couple minutes. He goes and looks.
Yeah.
Or he
calls somebody.
Yeah. Where if the AI can come in and be like, that's not a hemorrhoid gene.
And it's going to keep getting better and better and better. It really is.
As long as it works. The thing is, it's not going to go.
It never does. It's
not going to go, hey, we figured out how to cure cancer. It's going to go, well, now real estate's $1 million because the AI.
It's going to be more like, if you can't deliver Amazon packages, really, there's no job for you.
And they're going to start droning them out.
And I really think about that. You have a college degree in a business, by marketing.
Mm-hmm.
What specialization did that give you that competes with?
It didn't give me. I can't even compete with people. All it gave me is a piece of paper that I can apply for better jobs.
That's a travesty, though.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's going to be. Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's just that's the world we live in, and
I have a slight understanding of how accounting works.
Yeah.
I do believe, though, that, like, people in jobs, at least, maybe me, but looking at the fact that somebody has a college degree, I don't care what they learned. Like, the fact that they just did it and controlled themselves enough to get through it.
I totally get that.
I think your point is you're going to make is this AI thing will be to do anything better. Everything will be better
more
than what
efficiently, quicker. You know,
the only thing that's
no
going to be
typos.
left is
there's going to be one
professional sports. We're still. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch robots play football. I want to see the biggest and baddest of humans.
Well, that might be going outside. People fucking watch people play video games against each other.
Yeah, but
people watch drone racing.
I want to get into drone racing. It looks fun, but no robot is ever going to be able to do what Lane Johnson does for me.
Right, but we might be a dying breed.
Yeah, you're getting to be old man status.
Well, this is what it really all comes down to, is what I think it's an exciting thing for humanity. It's too late to put it back in the box. So
luckily we only got 30, 40 years left. You might have 50. I luckily only got 30, 40 years left.
That's the point I was getting to, is that used to be like, oh, well, I'll be fine. I'll be dead in a little while. Now it's like we become antiques overnight with this shit. And it's nobody's fault, but it's like, what do you want? How? What am I supposed to do with all this?
The only saving grace I have to say is energy-wise. Humans run off of a special energy. All these AIs and robots, well, shit, now I'm probably getting myself in a different realm, but we're
spiritual aspect?
No. We're biological energy, or however you want to say it. They're electronic energy.
Okay.
And so fossil fuels will eventually run out.
We'll be dead way before that happens.
But then there's solar energy. God damn it, these robots are going to win.
I mean, it's just like the social media thing really got out of the bag, and we're starting to realize the negatives of it and try to, like, rein it in a little bit. Human beings don't adapt overnight.
You know what, Rachel?
But these technologies
we're not going to use self-checkout anymore. I'm going to go to the stoned teenager, and he's going to check my groceries out.
Okay, when you're impatient trying to get out of the store.
When you're sweating.
Well, I'm saying you'll do that. I'll be in the truck with the air conditioning on.
I say my personal
bring it on.
Bring it on, because we can't get rid of it. But if we don't have anybody looking out for the regular people, which barely happens now. Like, listen, I'm just saying the system has to account for the little guy, because we're already getting to a point where we're like, fuck this. If you want to keep your power...
Are you willing... So are you willing to bow down to robots?
Not bow down. They're still a tool. We're the god.
So I don't think we will be. I think quickly it'll become they'll be the god.
Okay, but...
And I ain't sucking no robot dick. I'll suck a human dick, but I ain't sucking no robot dicks.
Okay. That's a different guy. That's like Skynet, Terminator
yeah,
shit.
I know. No, yeah, I'm with Bring It On. I'm with roll with the punches, and there's going to be bad, but...
I never want to be one of those old dudes who's just pissed off at everything.
I just hope that it gets used for the proper things, because...
It'll be a mixed bag. Life is gray.
Yeah.
It's already fighting fucking digital warfare and shit. This proxy war with Russia, I mean... We haven't fired a single shot, technically, but would you agree or disagree?
Apparently, we fired some missiles at Syria or something. I don't know shit.
That's that's a rabbit hole. That's a whole nother thing. I mean, at this point, because we don't make shit in America, if we're not at war, we can't fix our comedy.
Hey, we got movies and stuff. We got Hollywood.
China fucking is taking that over. They're starting to buy farmland. What's with Bill Gates and China buying a farmland in America? What are they doing? Who's selling them that? See, this free market shit's too much. You can't be selling your farmland to China.
It's not free market. It's people that control it. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole because we're looking for sponsorships.
I'm just saying, Americans shouldn't be selling American farmland to
it's gotten to the point
people.
they got pinched out. It's been happening. They're getting pinched out.
Well, the farming thing, yeah.
The fucking farmers. That's the one thing. If I could fight for somebody, it would be these dudes that are giving us delicious chicken and eggs and beef are getting their fucking balls pinched, dude.
Yeah, it's too late. That's already been industrialized.
That's what I mean, and now it's going fucking to China. China.
The only saving grace we have as Americans is we still have that independent freedom aspect to our spirit.
But now it's getting turned into the whole fucking gender type of thing.
That's so not important.
I know it's not important.
That's
but
just the narrative you hear.
That's the thing that sucks. Is that's the thing. Like that's the argument now.
But who's really talking about that except for like legacy media and people with goofy hair on the internet?
The internet.
Who cares?
Everyone in the world, because they're on the internet and they see this.
You on the internet who's seeing it. I don't get that shit on my
At the
pages.
end, yeah, I don't really either. But once I do have one Twitter file. I follow this. It's like,
so are you not LGBT plus 812 positive, Steven?
I'm all about it. People can be as gay as they want. I don't give a shit.
See, now you're generalizing. That's what happens. As soon as you go, I'm for. Well, then you're not against us.
I just don't care. Yeah, I'm a believer. My thing is, I don't give a shit what other people do. I could not care less. I might not agree with it. I'm not going to do that with my children.
They get mad. That's the problem with it.
They can get mad all they want.
They get. So you're not going to support it. That's why I'm making a joke out of it, because it is like there's no right or wrong answer.
It is a joke.
Well, no, there's no right answer. It's always so. Then you don't want to support us.
Well, and those are the only ones that get posted on the internet too.
Yeah, squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah.
I get it.
But I'm saying.
But I was just mentioning on free speech type of thing. Like that's where these loud and on the microphone people are trying to yell, free speech is meant for this, and then it's just getting taken over by all these like dumb causes.
It's true. I will agree with you. Like, we're using our free speech for some silly shit.
Perfectly put. We're using our free speech for dumb shit where it's like
I'm on like team gay men and women who are fucking mad that men are trying to fucking take over women's things because they think they're women. Like, I never thought about that. Especially like the sports thing is obvious.
The track guy,
But
LSU or whatever, breaking all these records, and it's like, all right, dude, you're faster than all the women, cool, but
yeah, I'm on their side. Like that, they should be pissed off about that. But like the gender pronouns and shit. Like, okay, you could call yourself him, her, other. I don't care what, but You know.
Listen, I have friends that I forget their brother's name. Okay, so don't be mad when I call you he when you want to be called this or that.
Exactly.
I don't know names good. Okay, so bear with me a little bit. You
sounded like a real old man.
No, I've never been good with names, so don't be mad at me when I say the wrong thing, because I go, listen, I fucking forgot what my best friend's brother's name is. Okay, so like,
it is weird though to think like the attitude I have about this seems just totally rational, reasonable, and what most people feel, but it's different. Like
most rational people don't post on Twitter and Instagram 24
the
hours a day.
silent majority, right?
Yeah.
But my thing is, I don't know if I was raised as a child with some of this stuff. Obviously, it would be more tangible, like a real thing to you, where like we kind of roll our eyes and say whatever you want to do, you know. But like, I don't know. It is problematic that like elementary school kids are learning some weird shit. This is let me finish. That's the biggest thing that's gonna go against the LBGQ whatever, the plus movement.
The letters plus movement.
They were fine doing a thing, but when you start to piss off parents, they're gonna fight back, and they have a good reason to be upset. Like teaching a second grader to question his sexuality or her sex, like it's just weird shit. It's not reasonable. It makes no sense.
It just shouldn't be in school. It just if you're a parent, you feel that way. Okay, that's your kid. But in school, it's just all right. We're trying to learn our ABCs and our multiplication tables. Let's not get more involved. On the playground, let them play on the playground.
Let them do the thing, but they shouldn't be taught my biggest thing is I think in 10 years we're gonna look back and say like that was funny. It was a big deal.
I hope so.
And everything kind of settles, and we'll be at that point fighting China in World War III, and hopefully we'll have a lot of.
Let's see where if that happens. Let's see where those people are at then.
Hey, they fought to be able to serve in the military.
All right. Well, guess what? Draft numbers picking.
Let's take a break.
Let's do a smoke break. And then we'll talk about some more lighthearted stuff after the smoke break.
We went a weird way.
Hey, they're fun to go that way sometimes. All right. Back from smoke break. We'll lighten up the conversation a little bit. I got two subjects.
It wasn't that heavy. It
wasn't
fine.
heavy, no.
It was fine.
No, it wasn't heavy. But also, I'm dumb. I don't know enough to... I just have these thoughts that pop up, and I'm like, oh, no. In exciting news for You Be Aight podcast, the team is getting an Airbnb, and we're going to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that is exciting news.
We've been talking about it for a while. They do a dual ticket. Very reasonable price, $65 to get to be able to go into both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Airbnb, real reasonable. We got a nice little place there. But I'm excited. So we're going 4 days, 3 nights, because we both agreed we don't like to be rushed on stuff.
And there's always a day where we're like, let's not do anything.
Well, we're not going to have a day to not do anything.
No, but we will have, like, when we get there, we'll get settled in and then have the night to hang out.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to hold you to it. We're going to wake up early. Don't give me those lips. We'll wake up early.
We'll go without you.
To get breakfast?
Well, I'm thinking we'll just bring all our food with us. There are 2 places that were cool. Was it the Ohio Bagel or Cleveland Bagel Company?
Cleveland
It's funny that you're
Company.
holding me to account on getting up early.
No, but I will.
Okay.
Yeah, if Gene has a plan.
I've gotten up at 4 o'clock to go golfing.
Okay. It's just that it's a funny juxtaposition.
Because I'm a sleep addict.
Yeah.
But you'll do the thing. I couldn't sleep last night. There's a wire touching my leg. No big deal. No bugs. So we're gonna get up there on Sunday, Rachel.
Yep.
Sunday, we'll get in
so
there.
This is like bona fide vacation for you.
Well, the way it worked out, so that's what I was going to get to, is we had to plan the vacation around a bunch of stuff. So Rachel's dad's surgery will probably be the first week of April, because I was saying, like, let's go fucking basically next week.
Uh-huh.
That's, we want to be around. The week after, God forbid, knock on wood, if anything happens, we want to be around the next week.
Mm-hmm.
Say we have to pop over there to help Rachel's dad or something. And then the third week, we couldn't miss any Fridays because Rachel's already in the championship for the bowling league.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm in first place, so I probably will be in the championship week. So we didn't want to miss any Fridays. I can't miss the few Fridays before championship or the championship
Yeah, you
week.
want to keep your game tip-top.
So we were like, all right, let's just do Sunday to Wednesday or whatever. Rachel's got the PTO. It doesn't matter to me or you. So we decided on the last week in April, which the weather probably will be getting nicer. So we're going to get up there Sunday, get in, unpack our stuff, hang out, get to bed at a reasonable hour, and we're going to, I've learned from my mistakes, we want to get there early because for some reason the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame closes at like 5 or 6.
Oh, really?
I assume, you'd think they'd be open to like 9.
8? Yeah,
Something. But
Well, it's just like an all-day activity too. So if you get we went at like late
No,
afternoon.
I hear you, but 5 is early.
we started when we were done. The people that were working the gift shop, you could tell they were pissed that we were taking a long time because it was like right at closing time. And there's so much to see, like so fucking much. They have interactive things. You put headphones on. You can listen to fucking music from the first person to do blues. They have all TVs everywhere. You sit down and watch Elvis's, all this stuff. You're going to love it because you like reading. I just like the videos.
Yeah, I read like over half of that whaling museum, and I know it was fucking not the most exciting.
I like to bounce around,
Uh-huh.
because I'll see something and I'll go, didn't I? Yeah, and then I want to go back, and it's cool because you can go up and down however you want. But because I was telling Rachel, I was like, when we went, we only did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then so we had a whole day to do whatever we wanted. So that's when we went to that bagel place. And then we went to, I keep calling it a flea market. What the hell is it, Rachel?
Ooh, stop. Before you say anything, April 15th, there is a flea market on Perry Highway at a church.
I know exactly what church you're talking about. Yeah,
So I think that's something worth checking out.
for sure. But now I'm fat.
No, don't say that.
But like I was dog tired after that museum. Like literally after the first 2 floors, I had a shit twice when we got there. I had a little bit of rough
That's
night the night
always
before.
gonna happen.
Yeah, but I had a little too much fun the night before. After I got that taken care of, we were cruising, but like enough where I was like, I need to get like a sandwich in me. Because it's a pyramid, so like the first fucking floor is huge. It's like a maze. You can get lost in there. But yeah, we're gonna have fun, and that'll be our whole day. And then maybe that night there's a grill there. We'll maybe do some grilling.
Bergs.
I'm thinking we'll just we'll
And dogs.
pack a cooler.
I hate people that don't do dogs with the bergs.
Yeah,
Dogs are
literally,
so
you can
good,
throw them
bro.
on the last minute, and they're.
Yeah. Can we talk about how good dogs are?
When we went camping, that was our sole diet.
They were, yeah.
We had a 12-pack of dogs. I ate 3 of them.
Well, we did a whole episode on this. We only had to feed ourselves for 12 hours before we had to leave.
Those dogs are so good.
Yeah,
we
they
were
were.
pounding dogs.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a good time there, and then get home. They have a TV in there. I'm thinking we'll get some documentaries lined up. What we did,
We'll have to get something at the gift shop. I'm going to guarantee you some badass.
I got a nice book. I passed up on a book I know I'm gonna get this time, because I like my coffee table books for my little library. A lot of T-shirts and coffee cups and stuff.
I was
but
saying they probably have some sweet documentaries. Remember I went through a stint where I was collecting live shows from my favorite bands?
Yeah.
Like DVDs?
I'm sure they have that. But what I was saying, so we get in there Sunday night.
We might be musiced out, though.
We'll Sunday night we'll line up either maybe some live performances or some music documentaries to get us excited for the next day. And then we'll go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on Monday, come home, whatever we got to do. We'll have a bunch of snacks. Obviously, we're going to have our snack situation's going to be tight. And then maybe watch some like football documentaries. Watch some 30 for 30s.
NFL, or what's it called? NFL Life?
Yeah, something. We're going to bring the Fire Stick so we can have access to all our platforms and stuff. But I'm thinking maybe we'll bring the podcast stuff with us.
Yeah, why not?
Because I've been watching Are You Garbage? Shout out, guys. I love you. Please let me on your show. They do fun things, like they went to Disney World. So we're going to have Rachel periodically when we're in the museum do some clips of us or whatever. And then that night do a podcast maybe.
Yeah, we'll have the time.
That'll be it'll be annoying bringing this stuff. It's a lot. When I was looking, you know, I like gear. I'm thinking about possibly upgrading our stuff.
The soundboard?
Yeah, not because the soundboard isn't good, but they make and we're looking because shit's expensive. Our
Really?
mic,
I would think podcast equipment at this point wouldn't be that bad.
still like the one I was looking at was like.
Are you? Yeah.
I'm not even like going like I want top line, but the one I want is all inclusive everything. So you just plug your mics into it and your headphones into it, and then into the computer.
Right.
Where, you know, it's getting rid of this box that plugs into that box and all this stuff. But if I have to, we'll just bring all this stuff. We'll do a podcast. It's got a nice, cool looking living room there.
Yeah, it is a pretty spiffy.
We'll have some chairs. You guys will get to see my full body in the not a form fitting way.
Are you doing like Salvacana with the pillow on your
probably.
Which is a comfortable way to sit. It really is.
The pillow is. It is. Over the gut, it makes you feel like, you know, I got something
gives
to
you
hold
something
on
to hug. Yeah.
It gives you something to hide the bumps and
folds,
curves of your body. Then Football Hall of Fame that night, and that's the one thing. I'm excited to see how big and how inclusive the Football Hall of Fame is. Because Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like I said, I was dog tired. So we'll see how much, you know, we're gonna put some steps in.
I guarantee the NFL Hall of Fame is badass.
You think it's bigger than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I don't know if it's bigger.
Well, especially since I never knew they were related. Like, all their branding on their websites and stuff is the same. So if it's anything like the Rock and Roll Hall, like, it'll be.
Yeah, they're not gonna pull any punch. It's gonna be all balls out. And I'm sure NFL Films has a lot of inner workings with the Hall of Fame, and they do superb work.
But I think you're going to have more, as much as we love the NFL and our and all that stuff, I think you're going to like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame more.
Well, I love me. I'm sure I will.
I'm be interested to see the stuff you like there, because it's weird. It's got a feeling in there. Like when I was in there, I was like, "This is."
It's got a buzz.
Yeah, I'm like, "Whoa, that's fucking the outfit Elvis wore. That's his motorcycle." It's gonna be. I'm excited for it. Yeah, we gotta wait a month. I hate waiting.
It's not a bad wait.
Less than a month too.
Yeah, it's not a bad wait.
Anyway, it'll give us enough time to iron the works out. It's a 2-hour drive, and it's literally we're 10 minutes from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Cool.
So we'll Uber there because I don't know the park. We'll probably we'll see if it's worth driving.
Why would the parking be like a problem?
Well, we Ubered last time, but I don't remember seeing a parking garage, and I don't want to spend a $20 Uber is way better than $20 parking.
Everything's really close there too. It was like a $5 to $10 Uber.
Okay. Well, you've been there before.
And we're off season too, so we're getting some good savings.
Yeah, that's why April's good, because it's not going to be like sweltering hot out.
Yeah, I can wear shorts.
Yeah.
And it won't be too hot. But yeah, I'm excited for that.
Although if it has an energy and a buzz, sometimes that gets me a little sweaty. Even if
you're gonna sweat. Dude, this place, it was so much bigger than I thought it was. Seriously. And it's cool because every level, because they have some installments. Rachel, was it still the Beatles?
It looked to me like everything was fairly the same as last time we went. Like the Pink Floyd wall was still there.
That, dude, the pink. So you're on like.
Can you? I can't stop looking at this girl's butt cheeks. Thank you.
And butt cheeks are distracting me.
They were.
But yeah, dude, the one, because everything's so, dude, the escalators are like double size. And so like the one, it's like floor 3. So it's a pyramid, so it starts getting smaller. You go up these escalator, and then there's a Pink Floyd, the wall with this gigantic monster hanging over. Bro, I had to hang on. I had to grab like a railing because I was getting like dizzy.
It's funny how you're almost like you were surprised that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is as badass.
I am. You know what really?
I mean, it's the Rock and Roll Hall.
You're
of course
right.
It's badass.
You're right. But for the price of it, a $30 ticket, I was going to be like, I know I'm going to see some cool memorabilia, but the building itself looks like something out of a science fiction movie.
I'm a museum guy too, so I enjoy a shittier museum. So I'm sure it's going to be.
Well, and it's because it's
although it's not
it's not just like a square building. That's what most museums are. They're big. They have high ceilings, but this thing, the whole time you can see outside of this glass pyramid you're inside of with this weird cylinder hanging off it that I'm like, I don't know how that's even attached to the building.
And it's just jam packed with stuff.
And then the top level, it fucking the whole time my hairs on my arm were standing up because you got to go up all these round steps, and then it's just this tiny dark ass room, and they say you can only spend 15 minutes in here, and you get to watch the 4 best guitarists play their videos and stuff. It's gonna be a good time. I don't want to oversell it, but I don't think
let him experience it for himself.
We talked about it at length on a different episode.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, there we go. I'll move on. 2 quick things. I waxed Rachel's beehole.
Oh, yeah.
We owe a follow up.
We owe the audience this.
That's right. How could I forget?
Nothing crazy. We had the position of it, because we had to put Rachel in the corner of the bed and kind of in like baby pose where she held her legs up and I scooched a chair up. I had to learn how to work the wax. I had to so we started with her armpits because it wasn't the strips like we were talking about. It literally, you put the wax on and hardens, and then you pull that up. You have to go with the grain, pull away from the grain. Rachel's not that hairy, so I wanted more I almost wanted her to be more hairy.
Yeah, I know. I get that. I can see what you're
There's
saying.
little baby hairs I'm pulling, and we did everything.
Well, once you get going, you might as well just...
Yeah, and, Rachel, how was it for you? At some points, she couldn't stop laughing.
I was laughing so hard, I thought I was going to die of suffocation. It's the most awkward position. And so I ended up drinking 6 or 7 glasses of wine.
She got hammered.
And I thought I was going to die the next day as well. But it wasn't, the pain wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
It just was not even that I didn't want him to see me in that position, but it was just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's
I was just crying, laughing, so I couldn't stay still.
It's not a position you find yourself in often.
No. And he was being very serious too, so that was making me laugh too.
That's even
I
funnier.
was taking the job serious. I was trying to do my best. I don't know. Now I'm neurotic. I don't like going to the doctors. How someone goes to a stranger to get that done?
People get really close with their waxers. They talk about
I can
life.
imagine.
It's different for women. Dude.
Yeah.
It's different for women because unless you got something weird going on, most vaginas just look the same.
Dude, I was
Not
up
the
in
same,
there. I'm just saying, I don't want Rachel to ever have to be that close. You got to.
That's because women are sexy and men just really aren't.
Yeah.
Even sexy men, their balls and buttholes are Rachel, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, too. There's a change of skin. The skin around of a vagina and the skin around the butthole and the in-betweens, you're really working on a different material every time. So we did the armpit. That was learning curve. That was fine. And then we started in the beehole. There's a learning curve to learn how to work with that skin, I guess I would say.
Do you have to like stretch it tight?
Certain parts around the vagina, yeah. But around the butthole, it's just I'm trying to be so careful too, because you have this hot wax and there's a time on it, and you pull it out and it's like spaghetti strings.
So you had your game face on.
I was serious. I was like, I was like, next time I do this, I'm gonna get one of those jeweler glasses that have the fucking monocle that like pops in.
Wouldn't I tell you I was laughing so hard? I don't know if I've ever laughed so hard in my life.
We had to stop a couple of times because, I mean, that's sensitive down there, and it's fun. It's funny also, but I'm trying, for her sake, I'm trying to be serious. I'm not laughing. I'm like, yep, nope, this is coming. Ready? 3, 2, okay. Ready for the pool? All right.
Yeah, you're like official about it, as if it's a normal thing.
She's losing her mind laughing because I'm sure it tickles and it's also funny. But I'm trying to have a straight brow.
Are you sweating? When
No.
If I'm concentrating, I'll sweat.
I got a good setup because we weren't sure how we were gonna do it, but I mean, I got a chair on the corner of the bed, so like I
a
looked
doctor.
like I was at work.
Like a doctor scoots up a
Mm-hmm.
stool. So there was no sexy time?
No.
Because that's when...
Also, Rachel was by the end of it because it took a while. I mean, right? What do you think? Close to 2 hours.
It took us like 2-3 hours.
Holy shit.
But we were like
We had to take breaks because she was
taking
laughing.
breaks.
I'm
and we
also
were
really
reading
like
instructions.
Yeah, I'm an
you-
instructions guy.
Yeah,
I read all the
yeah, I can see
instructions.
I
What's-
will say though, you are a little bit like sore afterwards. So I don't think it's prime for people to have.
No, I get that. And that's... But for some people... I would imagine it's very sensual, especially men. We're like
Gene
visible.
tried to find a instructional video, and he ended up on Pornhub.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it was like a.
Honestly, I couldn't. I'm about to do
Beginning
my
with
own
waxing.
instructional video.
There wasn't much.
There wasn't anything
'Cause
good there. I had a
It's an absurd thing to think people are putting tutorial videos out for.
They
try.
should though.
I had to do trial and error. I'm like,
You're so like uptight about things. It's so
not
funny.
up to. I didn't want to hurt her. I'm working with hot wax around the most sensitive part of the body, and also I'm trying to be efficient because like you don't want to do it too much because it does irritate you a little bit. And she's going on vacation 2 days later, so like.
I hear you.
I can't have 3rd-degree burns on.
Yeah.
I mean, I tested on. I tested on my forearm first to make sure it wasn't too hot. I took care of my
You're
girl.
a good caretaker.
I did good, I think.
But I know, like for some couples, like they like to like shave each other and stuff. That's real like sexy. So you never know. So in a position, maybe you're
I gotta say, and this is gonna sound bad, but I seen how the sausage was made a little bit and wasn't really craving the sausage.
Nah, I get you.
I was playing gynecologist for a little bit, and I go, I'm gonna need a day to shake this one off.
Yeah. Well, now you know. For some men, I guess they would be like, "This is really hot."
I gotta say, I got pretty good at it. I'm feeling pretty confident. Next time,
Gene's waxing services now open for business.
Yeah, I could use a little.
I can't imagine doing that as a living. Random people coming in.
It's just like everything else. It becomes it's just, you don't even think about it.
Yeah, I guess.
You might, because you'd be like taking 3 hours for each person.
I would say though, it would be easier
Doing
for a hairy person.
You say that, but let's find out. We're gonna wax my butthole.
Some of the fine hairs, I didn't even know they were hairs until Rachel was like, I think this is a hair kind of.
Really?
I'm talking about like, fucking
What-
see-through hairs.
What else would it be if it's not a hair?
He didn't even see anything, but I knew there was a hair there.
Like I said, we were talking about when on yourself, you can feel that it's a hair. When you're looking at it, it's like.
Well, and I'm not
You don't have real coarse hair?
no.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And I got laser hair removal, so like at least on the front, like there's not a lot, and it's not thick at all. So you gotta like find it.
So everything turned out well. No irritation or rashing.
No, honestly, my armpits were the most sore.
Because
can
I
see
think there were more coarse hairs
Yeah.
there.
Huh. Well,
So it was a success. I
Like,
got to
this is-
say it was a success.
hey, that's one service you could provide that the AI and ChatGPT can't take from you.
Yeah, I'll get some
We
gloves.
were just talking about we should open up a fucking waxing boutique.
hair salon.
Just waxing, just buttholes and vaginas.
I got how about this? I'll teach people how to do it.
Yeah, you could have like
A
a
school
teach
for couples and shit.
boyfriends how
Yeah.
to wax
Yeah,
their
for
girlfriends.
couples, that's the money there, because there's tons of people who can wax. The Chinese and all that, they don't care. But for me, I have to be intimate with you. For me to wax your butthole,
We're brothers. How much more intimate do you want to get?
I'd have to get real drunk, and then I don't think I'm going to do a good job.
I would do your butthole good.
No, you wouldn't. I wouldn't allow you, but also I would just not allow you. I had a hard time letting my wife, who I've been intimate with for 10 years now, I don't think I'd let her wax my beehole.
Well, it would be a wise thing.
Yeah,
You guys would be getting into some new stuff if your butthole's getting waxed.
I'll tell you, you know what? It's going to sound weird. I would rather, all right, Steven, hold your wiener down, and I'll wax your pubes more than I'd want to wax your butthole.
Well, buttholes are definitely gross, bro. So
It's not even the gross factor. It's, you're up in there. You see every nook and cranny. Let's put it that way.
I've got a pretty solid looking butthole though.
Sometimes you don't wipe. I don't believe it. Have you ever seen your butthole? Let's put it that way. Have you ever seen your butthole?
I'm sure I have.
How do you
How?
know it's solid looking?
I know I've seen my butthole.
What, on a picture?
Yeah, and I wasn't happy about it.
On the Patreon. Just kidding.
Sign up for the Patreon. $5. I'll give you a picture of my butthole. Actually,
maybe I haven't seen my own butthole.
How would you would know, because you'd have to stand over a mirror or taking a picture.
I probably have seen my butthole, just like shaving. I told you there's been 1 or 2 times where I got a
did
little out of control, and then it was like I got to make.
But
this.
were you shaving by feel?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Because I mean, to see your butthole, you either have to have a standing mirror and get in a really weird position, or put a mirror on the floor and squat over it.
Nah, I could just with a mirror. I'm sure I've seen my own butthole, dude.
The fact that you don't know, you've never seen your butthole. You don't want to know why I know? Because I exactly remember what it looks like and not happy about it.
Mine?
No,
When did you see my butthole?
not your butthole, my butthole. I'm saying.
I just imagine growing up, you know, you get curious about your own body. There's definitely probably been a time where I looked at my own butthole.
But I'm thinking in our house, you would have had to go in Mom and Dad's bedroom and use the standing mirror to look at your butthole.
You know, there's a lot of...
Or a handheld mirror.
Yeah.
We never had those. The only thing I'm thinking maybe
That black...
that fancy, the decorative mirror. I used to hate that thing and go and take a pee and I go, and you see your wiener, I'm like, this isn't impressive.
That's not a good angle.
This isn't the right angle for it.
I've definitely never seen it. Like, I've never taken a picture of it or anything. So I know that.
What we've been building up to is OnlyFans. Steven's got an OnlyFans out there now.
Yeah. I've been doing push-ups.
It's solely butthole. You're not going to see anything else. But I think...
Keep going. This is real, right? We're going to do this.
Dude, if you do an OnlyFans of just showing your butthole, I'll pay for the equipment.
We don't need any equipment. We already got the
I'll
equipment.
get you a tripod for your phone and a couple of mirrors.
You'll just have to wax...
Get you one of those Taylor mirrors that have 3 sides so you can really get the right angle.
Well, you have to wax me up real good, too.
For OnlyFans,
Let's say
I would wax you up.
If I was pulling in cash...
Yeah, I would wax your asshole for that.
See? That's all I want to know, is if we really needed it done.
But here's the thing. For you, I would make you... I'd make you do doggy style.
Yeah, I'm not going to fucking lay on my back.
Well, that's what we do with Rachel, but...
That's the recommended position is on your back
for a girl.
with your legs.
Because
But the butthole's in the same place.
listen, because with a man, if I'm laying on my back, then my balls are flopping
Yeah,
around.
I'm having to push
Can
balls
you
out.
hold him up with a little ponytail?
I could use my hand.
I was going to say...
You
I'm
gotta
gonna
hold your legs up though.
I'm going to have to push balls and wiener out of the way, but we're brothers. I'm only going to have to push balls out of the way.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Especially if it's a little chilly in there. Yeah, there'll be no wiener to deal with.
Turn the air conditioning down a little bit.
That's fine, but definitely I would rather have a stranger do that than you, obviously.
Yeah, I would be... If I were getting it done, I'd be switching places. I can't...
Nah, you would definitely once you have it done.
once you get comfortable.
Would you rather a man or a female?
I don't care.
The only time I would switch a location is if I farted or something.
I'm surprised when you were laughing your ass off, you didn't fart. In that, she probably did. In that position.
I'm not. No comment.
Yeah. I mean, in that position, it's hard not to fart when you're laughing.
6 glasses of wine, laughing.
Don't be mean.
Well, that makes I get why she was hysterical, because that is really like
It wasn't so. The
that's
butthole
like
wasn't.
icing on a cake.
It was the in between, the lady gooch and then the vagina that got. Because the buttholes, you were right. It's tougher than the skin's tougher than I
Yeah.
thought it was. But it was actually the in between.
That's what got her farting.
That. Well, that was glass 4 of wine, so as things start kicking. She had some falafel,
Yeah, see me like if I had, I would be stone sober. So I wonder how I would.
I would give you a dietary plan. I'd be like, all right, no yogurts, no cheeses. You get bread and butter for 2 days
Do you
before
ever
I do this.
get the giggles?
Yeah, not as often as I used to. But,
Rachel can get. She gets.
I know. I've seen her lose her mind.
The
It's really dangerous.
podcast has heard it.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. I wish I got the giggles more.
I
Yeah.
used to get the giggles at the doctor's office when they would, how they like push on your your stomach to make sure you're like whatever. I would be laughing so hard, and my mom would be in the room too, and she would be laughing.
Like even as a young adult.
Yeah, because I probably did that until from when they started doing it at like 7 or whatever until I was
That's such
13,
a different thing.
14.
Depending on the age. Like as soon as you are over like 25, the doctor, it goes from like kind of funny to like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well,
Can you
and
just-
my first couple gynecological exams too, I was giggling.
That's a tough one. I feel bad for ladies on that because I'm the only one of my friends, people I know, that I had to see a wiener doctor. I forget the name of them. Urologist at a very young age. And it's really weird having an old Jewish dude scoot up his thing and be like, all right, let me get a close look at everything.
If I was a woman, dude, I would not want a man gynecologist.
No.
I think that's. Listen, men have a nature. You could say like, you're not. This is purely physician. It don't work that way.
Okay, I'm going to stop this right here. You're saying that, but every time I say I have to go to the doctor, you go, they're doctors.
I'm
They
saying
deal with
a
things.
man looking at a woman's vagina.
Okay, what about a woman coming in and look at my butthole and wiener and
Like
balls?
we said before,
I know they're not
women
getting
are sexualized
They're not
more
getting
than men are.
turned-
Men are not
Men
sexy to
have
look at.
Men have a nature that
I'm
women
saying
don't have.
They're not getting turned
We're
on,
we're
but there
very
is
visual.
there's judgment
Of
happening
course.
there.
But I'm gonna judge a man.
Women are gonna judge just as much as a man's gonna judge.
So that's any human. They're gonna judge.
Women might.
I don't want to ever have
Judge
to get a
more.
catheter.
Bro, I watched this documentary.
I got a little penis. I don't know how a catheter
you
works.
stretch it out. Listen, I watched this thing about this mountain
It's
bike
not that
dude.
small.
Yeah, it is. This mountain bike dude who broke his back and was like paralyzed. Not fully, but it took him anyway. Dude, the first 30 days in the hospital, he had to catheterize himself to pee, like multiple times a day.
Dog, Dad had to do that.
Okay, well,
I remember I found out it was after his surgery. They scraped his prostate, and then he's pissing blood, and it turns out he was pushing in too far.
Well, I knew about that, but this in this doc, I saw him do it, and it was horrifying.
Is there a lubricant on it?
Yeah, of course, but still, it looks awful.
I'll just piss my pants.
You can't. That's the thing.
So this piss won't come out, and like you get some problems from
as far as that's what it seemed like. Because if you can piss your pants, you can piss in the toilet. So like you'll feel pressure in your bladder, and like you have to release it.
I don't want to get old. When I turn 50, Rachel, I'm getting a Camaro, And
Just
I'm
stop
not.
acting like a crotchety old man,
And I'm not
you'll
wearing a
stay young
seatbelt.
forever.
Not wearing a seatbelt. I'm with you on that. But yeah, giving yourself a catheter, bro.
That's
my friend Barry, his uncle. Something happened to him. I don't know if it was like some kind of crazy bladder, whatever. He had to catheterize himself to pee for the rest of his life. At like 45.
Oh God.
And he would they would go to like baseball game or whatever, and his uncle would just he refused to catheterize himself.
Dog, the beer distributor down the Giant Eagle there. There's an old guy. He's the one who owns it, but he's only there every once in a while. And he smokes a cigarette. He just kind of tips his head outside of the door and smokes. Which I'm like, dude, it's your store to smoke in your fucking store. Who cares?
Yeah.
I seen the other day when I got a case of beer, his fucking catheter tube hanging out. So he's working the register, and he covers himself in Axe. You know what I mean? And his pants are always like they're too big. Well, he belts them.
Are you sure he doesn't have a colostomy bag?
I hope.
Was it a tube down low or?
It was sticking
out
out of
his
his
foot?
waistband.
Oh, that could be either. Then.
But it looked like liquid. It looked like
Colostomy is liquid.
It was yellow. I don't know colostomy bag.
I'm sure, okay. I just think like that's the worst thing ever.
But yeah, and it's like, and there's a dude. Cause usually two people work there, and the dude in the back, like the register is kind of in the L shape, like a sectional, and he's back there. You'd think like, cause he's been there for as long as I've lived here. I've seen both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think someone should say like, "Hey, dude, your pee fucking wires hanging out." I mean, like,
honestly, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think a catheter tube should show up there.
maybe it was.
Usually they go down and go on your leg.
Maybe it was a colostomy bag. I don't know,
Or some
but
sort of like diabetes tube thing.
Maybe this has like a feeding tube.
no, I know what a G tube is. It was hanging out of like right
How
above
old
his
is this
pocket.
guy?
His
He
70s.
probably just doesn't give a fuck.
I'm sure he does, but it's like he's still running the business, and he's like a nice enough. He doesn't really talk, and he always fucks up on the register. It takes like 10 minutes to check out there, but it's just like you can tell he's like doesn't do laundry, and he's covering up with Axe body spray. He's got dandruff on his shoulders.
He might be just a drunk too.
Maybe, but I'm
That's
pretty
what happens to old drunks.
positive he's the owner.
He could totally be the owner.
But it's like
What you described is basically every alcoholic I've ever met over the age of like 45.
Yeah, and he owns a beer store.
I just don't understand. Well, I worked at a beer store.
Yeah, but you were a kid.
But no, he wasn't like that. Actually, he didn't. He only drank wine. But regardless,
It wasn't about the fact he works at a beer store. It's about all the other things you described about him.
why
he
was
doesn't
that
do laundry.
like
he
why was that
stinks.
tube sticking out of his pants?
I think
He-
again,
he
you
has
care
to
about
feel it.
things a lot more than other people do.
He's 70, bro.
And if he wears that every day, it's probably hanging out
yeah.
25% of the
It's
time.
just like-
if not
Now
more.
maybe it's on purpose. Maybe like that's the
It's
only.
not on purpose. He doesn't show it on purpose. Why would he do that? I think he's a fucking.
If I'm working,
He's on the edge of giving up completely and still trying.
I don't care if I know this guy for 2 days. I'm gonna say, hey Ed,
You wouldn't.
Okay, you tell him
Yeah,
that, and then he
tell him.
says, "All right, thanks."
Thanks for noticing. There's no way he doesn't
I guess
realize it.
I like we've talked about on the show before. I want people to tell me if something's happening, because you don't always know. And he's old. Maybe he is a fucking old alcoholic. I
Even
would tell.
without being an alcoholic, he might just not care.
I was about to say something to him.
Yeah, and then he might have been
He's running a
offended
bit.
that
Listen,
you saw it.
he's checking out people at a fucking the store he owns.
Yeah, the tube's not pouring shit out onto your.
Yeah, obviously
stuff.
he's also what you described him as. He sounds like a dirt filthy old man. So this is just one other step.
Yeah, I guess that's just tough. You know, I saw and
you feel bad for him.
I
right?
felt bad, but then also I kind of had to like, come on, man.
Get back to me when you're 70.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
And it's a medical thing you live with every day, so
That's the last thing. He can barely get out of bed without a beer. He doesn't do any laundry.
Next time I go, because he's only there like certain times. I'm about to ask the one guy that I talked to, because the one guy who helped me out buying cigars there the one time. I'm about to ask him, like, dude, what's up? Is your owner like dying right now?
Yeah, start with that question.
He might be like, what the fuck do you care, man?
I would go.
He's Gary. It is what it is.
His name probably is Gary.
Mind your own fucking business.
Maybe, and I'll accept that. But it's just I've never seen that. Like,
I've seen people with a colostomy bag and
working behind a counter of a store.
It's
They're
his
allowed
business.
to have jobs too.
I'm not saying they can't. It's just I don't. Why was the tube hanging out? It looked like it was purpose. Like, I don't get it. Like,
Maybe he was
maybe it
carrying
does.
stuff.
The only thing I was thinking, I was like, maybe it does have to have kind of like, for gravitational reasons, does have to stick out. Okay, I get that, but dude, it was very visible.
You know what's funny about all this? We gotta wrap it up. I gotta go to the grocery store.
Oh.
But
You're gonna get people pissed at you.
I can get it in. I'm good. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Wrap it up. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out. We've had some good conversations. We got some good stuff coming up. It's been You Be Aight podcast. You Be Aight. I'm gonna try and fuck with the music because everyone yells at me when I do. Thanks for joining in.
Love you,
I'm
Mom.
Gene Labordi. That's Stephen Labordi, my brother. Behind the ones and twos is Rachel Labordi. You Be Aight. Love you, Mom. AML Media presents You Be Aight podcast.
You be aight.